Since I'm getting more involved on my video channel, I thought it'd be nice to introduce myself. I'm Pierre Davis Dutreix. I also go by the name of the Zen Rebel. I kept that as my gaming name ever since the 1990s when I used to play Age of Empires or Unreal. I signed my paintings Davis Dutreix though. I'm half French, half American. I grew up kind of in New York City and the beautiful state of Vermont, and I also grew up quite a bit in Paris as well. Right now I live in Nice, in France. So, I've been a painter for over 40 years. I used to be a carpenter and a DJ at Vermont Public Radio and WKXC in White River Junction. I also do movies. Every painting that I do, I make like a little making of that particular painting. Like that, I thought people wanted to buy the paintings, they could see how it got made and what happened in the studio during all that time. So why did I decide to do this channel? Well, basically to share the life that goes on in the studio, to share the process of painting. It's also a great motivator for me to come in every day and paint. Plus the fact I love to learn. I love to learn the programs that it takes to do the streaming, like Streamlabs OBS, or programs to do the editing of the movies, like Vegas Pro, or graphic suites like CorelDRAW. Plus, I noticed when I was 19 years old, a lot of my friends suddenly stopped learning, and I noticed they became old. They weren't even 21 years old, and they were already old people. Why? Because they stopped learning. So I decided that wasn't going to be for me. So it's true, I love philosophy, I love existentialism, and I must admit I got hit by a car while hitchhiking when I was 17 years old. And that accident, where I almost died, sent me into an existential research. You know, it sent me in asking questions like, who are we? And why are we here? And that, of course, led me into a spiritual research and into religions. And that, of course, sent me into atheism and Zen Buddhism, which also sent me into astrophysics and the sciences, because they answer other questions like, why are we here? And where are we? So these are all questions that my paintings deal with and have for the last 30 to 40 years. So you've guessed it, this is a very different channel. It's a very personal channel. We're very candid here. I swear a lot. I have very strong opinions about art and politics, but yet I want to share my studio and what happens in it with you guys. Now, I know that painting is a slow process. It could be rather boring to watch. But then again, this channel is not for the masses. It's for you. And we know anyways that the masses are asses, right? So anyways, even though that it's extremely flattering to have a lot of followers and likes, it is not the priority of this channel. We have nothing to sell, except the time that we can share together and hopefully the exchange that we will have together. Now, knowing that this can be a rather boring channel, I also want to implement showing pictures in it, little videos, sharing my time and talking with other artists where we can talk about art. And since in this building there are several musicians, hopefully to have some mini concerts while I am painting. So I would like to conclude this presentation, if I may, by talking a little bit about my studio. My studio is in this awesome building called the Pigeonnier, the Pigeon Coop. It is part of the French artistic squat movement known as squart. It has come into light because of the high price of renting studio space. So what we do, we invest buildings that are empty, that are either going to be sold or torn down, and we give them a second life by turning them into studios. I have made several videos explaining the history of this movement, how to open your own artistic squat movement. I'll leave links in the description for you. But this place, the Pigeonnier, has 5 flights of studio spaces and a huge gallery on the first floor where we have art shows, film projections, concerts, poetry readings, slams, you got it. So anyways, I want to thank you for joining me. I would like you as well to go down below in the description and you will find that there are links to movies about the squat movement, about the Pigeonnier. There are subtitles included for the films that are in French. And I just want to say one more thing. Ciao, mes amis.